basically it was something kind of shocking, you know? Like, let's say it was just the fine-tuning of the universe for life. Let's suppose you just ran all the premises, and that's a 10 to 50 coincidence. That's what the person tells me. And then the person responds to me saying, yeah, there's no way that's a coincidence. There's got to be some explanation for that. I'm not willing to tolerate a coincidence on that scale. If the person comes to me and in their responses, look, this is sort of a selection effect, you know? If you look for coincidences, you'll find some of them will be pretty big. You know, shut up, you know? That's my first response. I'm not going to tolerate any coincidence about something that cries out for explanation like that, that's that big. And then second is basically these additional criteria that I mentioned.
Yeah, that makes sense. The other thing I wanted to ask about is we tend to find sort of structure beautiful. And one of the reasons why we probably find structure beautiful is sort of this notion of compressibility, that like our brain finds it easier and thus more pleasing to see patterns that are repeating, because then it's just easier for our minds to just like very efficiently extract what's there. And so like if our brains have this like innate notion that like compressible patterns are beautiful, well then maybe it wouldn't be too surprising that like, oh yeah, that's what math has a lot of. And so like it could just be that like, okay, humans like finding compressible patterns in the world, and then math is just fucking chock full of it by its nature. And then it's not that we like, so there's just like, you know, it's like a different story to be told about why we like these things than the thing you're saying. Like, yeah, of course compressible patterns are going to be useful, but that there's like, we've evolved to like it because it's useful at the macro scale too. And then like, yeah, it's useful at the micro scale, or it's useful in math.
Well, I mean, I don't think it's that simple. Because, I mean, first of all, the things we actually don't find, like, trivial patterns that are easily compressible to be beautiful. Like the alternating string of 1 and 0. You know, it's like, okay. You know, like, I guess it's more aesthetically appealing than a completely random and compressible string. You know, but they're basically, like, way more complex, less compressible strings are the ones that we're really interested in, you know, that have kind of an interesting, non-trivial structure to them. There's like a richness to the structure that they have. And like a lot of what we find beautiful is basically things that exist in this weird middle point, you know, where it's like, it's right at this edge between order and chaos, you know? That's where we find there to be the most beauty. It's not the simplest stuff, you know? It's stuff that is like as complex as it possibly could be, while being orderly enough that it's still intelligible, you know, and there's still some kind of pattern and rich structure to it.
Yeah, I mean, humans generally like very order within complexity. That's like what humans tend to like. Too much complexity, and it just looks like mess, and too much order is just boring. But maybe that's useful. That maybe we want the we really care about the compressible patterns for complex things. Like that's when it's useful to be able to compress it. It's not useful with a string because you could just at a glance see what the pattern is, but on a sort of deeper thing, like on a more complicated pattern, it's like useful to be able to extract some sort of like compressible pattern or an essence that you can like get information from.
With a personality disorder.
So like it might just be the case that yes, learning patterns that generalize is going to be useful epistemically, but the reason why we like that is just because, yeah, that was useful for macroscopic things, and so of course we evolved it.
Well, so first, basically, there's the point that we were just talking about, which is just saying it's useful, so of course we evolved it. We actually just need to look at, do actual science, you know, look at the selection history and see if that's the good explanation for why we have the faculties that we do that support the reasoning abilities in the specific mode of solving these problems. You know, I mean, second is basically what you've just described. Like, in no way could I take what you just said and use that to predict how beautiful humans are going to find basically individual mathematical theorems. There's no practical way for me to translate what you just said into an evaluation of beauty that tracks human aesthetic judgment. And so, like, it can't be a theory of the thing that it's trying to be a theory of. Because what we're trying to explain, basically, is there's some systematic way that humans basically are able to discern within mathematical structures how beautiful they are, and that basically if you just gave me, give me some practicable method, to explain that predicts how we assign those ratings of beauty to these mathematical structures. And that what you've done isn't like an empirically adequate theory of that.
I've heard you describe this a few times, Ethan, about the beauty that the mathematicians are chasing, but you don't seem to be describing exactly what they're finding as beautiful.
Well, what do you mean?
Well, I mean, Sam keeps sort of objecting with like different like notions of beauty, symmetry, objectification, or however the heck you put it. And you're noticing that these mathematicians are, in their own declaration of what they're engaged in, talking about beauty. But when we try to discuss what exactly is beautiful about the things they're chasing, we get these strange, abstract, non-beautiful words describing it. And, like, it's fine if they're sensing some kind of a beauty there, but the question is, what are you saying they're seeing that is common to all of them when they're chasing the beauty?
But that's my whole point. Like, my point is, beauty is not, like, it can't be reductively defined in terms of this thing that is not beauty. Now, there's lots of things that are common to things that we find beautiful, but none of them are going to give you an adequate reductive definition of beauty. And that's my argument, It's like, there's like the Erdős quote, why are numbers beautiful? It's like asking, why is Beethoven's Ninth Symphony beautiful? If you don't know why, someone can't tell you. I know numbers are beautiful. It's like it's the same sort of thing as like, if I tell you, like recreational killing is wrong, and then you tried to give me a reductive definition of morality, where you just said, oh, something is, like, we find things to be immoral if they involve, like causing displeasure to another person, and that formula is not going to be adequate to the moral intuitions that we have. And even if it were completely extensionally adequate, like even if for some reason, which it doesn't, but even if that told you all the things we're going to find immoral versus all the things we're going to find moral, there would still be something further about the concept of morality that you were missing, even if it were completely extensionally adequate, And I mean, basically, I'm making a similar claim about beauty, that these are the transcendental categories. If somebody doesn't know what truth is, I'm not going to pull a Mason on you and say, oh, it's the thing that all stuff in space and time has in common, existing or whatever. That's not what I'm going to do. If you don't get truth, get lost.
I feel like when I think about like the Einstein's equation, math involving mass and energy, like I think that's elegant. It's like an elegant equation, simple. It has like a scope is pretty wide and simple. But then like if I think about the Drake equation, that's sort of, it doesn't, I don't think that, it doesn't seem to me that that's like elegant or like beautiful, even though like it does explain something, it doesn't seem quite as simple. The scope isn't as great. I don't know, but I'm not really sure why, like, I like one, but not one seems cool, I guess, to me, and the other kind of doesn't.
Right.
But I mean, I guess you can't like fully reduce these things down to like, I don't know, their smallest parts, whatever that might be. But we can say some things about them, I guess.
Saying that.
Yeah, I completely agree with you about that. By the way, like there's like to say someone would be wrong to say beauty is symmetry, but someone wouldn't be wrong to say, hey, there's a very intimate relationship between beauty and symmetry. Just like this idea of like existing in this space, between order and chaos, existing at that boundary between order and chaos. Like, to say that is what beauty is, no, that's just as much of a mistake as saying like beauty is symmetry, but there's clearly a relationship,
Well, okay. I'm skeptical of a claim as broad as not, that beauty cannot be defined. Right? You could say it's difficult, or like other definitions fail. When you say not, that's big. It's saying there is no definition here. You're making a mistake in approaching the area. And I would posit that, like, I think there's other notions of beauty that can accommodate with the facts of geniuses following through on their sense of beauty, if that's really like an impression they're having, and then they could then naturally do better work in there. And then, again, based upon your definition of beauty, which I have my own, it could further explain why it is they develop these theories that they describe as beauty and bring together disparate, chaotic elements that are usually ignored until they coalesce them into their theorems.
Well, I mean, basically, there's these three categories, the true, the good, and the beautiful. I think those are the basically primitives, and that basically almost everything else you can give a satisfying reductive definition, But it's natural that you're going to hit bedrock somewhere. And there's going to be some notions where we try to, just like existence, to try to give a reductive definition of existence. There's no notion more basic than it that adequately captures it, that doesn't presuppose it, And
I get what you're saying, and I feel like it's strong with truth and goodness. Beauty, I kind of quibble. That feels like an overreach to me.
That's the thing, is that, basically, first is, I feel good, historically speaking, that basically, like, the transcendentals, those are the big three, across cultures that people have recognized as being roughly in this category. And then, I think, for me, personally, first is, I think the work that beauty can do for me is enough to merit basically assigning it that lofty perch. And I don't see any path to a reduction of it that seems promising to me. Because, I can see, like, again, the thing that wouldn't shock me, though I also don't really believe in, is like that you could come up with a definition that was extensionally adequate. But even if you did that, I think there would still be something you were missing.
Well, I would say my definition of beauty is pretty encompassing and very internally consistent. And basically, beauty is function, whether it's perceived or imperceivable. But it's function. When you're looking at something that's beautiful, you're saying this thing is functional, or it's you could use it. It has great utility. So whether you're looking at a person's face or their boobs or their butt, you're looking at something that's useful to you. So therefore, that's why it's sort of relative. Not every person has the same kind of life mission, so not everything is useful in the same way. So that's why you may look at, let's say, a bad woman and say, oh, well, she's beautiful, because maybe that person would say, I need, maybe something inside that person would say, I need someone that would keep me warm, or I love the feeling of someone who can cook for me. That's very useful, or it's functional. Someone who's very thin, I need someone who is fit. All these things are telling us, or at least the outer appearance is telling us a story about how useful that person can be in our life. So I would say that's the definition of beauty for all things.
Sorry, are we talking about Alexis Texas again, and the butt thereof?
Debug, I really liked your point about that we learn to like the things that work. I think that was a really good point. I really don't know.
Yeah, to be perfectly honest, it's my attempt at adversarial sort of. I don't know how much I believe what I said, right? Like, it's more of a. I want what Ethan said to be true.
Yeah. And
so, I try to find the best counter.
I don't know how to measure whether the space of ugly math is bigger than the space of pretty math. I don't know how to measure the size of these consonants, because we've only explored very little of the total possible math, and we've only looked at the beautiful stuff mostly. So I just
motherfuckers, which I don't. But since we having it, then I'm gonna need you to fucking be logical when having this conversation and speak.
So I can only answer if I've been jumped by people.
You still fucking talking. You can't hear me if you talking.
So here,
blessing, to be honest.
I can only answer if I've been jumped. Is that the takeaway from here? If I've been jumped by two beautiful people, that's when my opinion matters. Okay.
No, the fact that you didn't even know that he was jumped by two two boys twice. Well, no, he wasn't. Let's say he wasn't jumped. But if you were about to be attacked by two people twice your size, Randy can't measure Carmelo's strength. So for him to say he should have fist fought, or he should have did this, or he should have did that, then you're wrong for even stating what he should have did. If this person was in fear of his life, then he was in fear of his life. We can't make that decision on if he was or he wasn't. Only he can. So if we could look at it logically and be like, well, there was two people twice his size. They were brothers, so they will automatically take up for themselves. I could see how he felt like his life was in danger. Did he have to hit him with a knife? You can even say that. Did he have to kill him? No. All right, but let's look at least the fucking details and the facts of the shit.
So if somebody told you get on up out of here, would you be afraid for your life?
Why is somebody telling me anything, and why is anybody touching me that's not an authority to have that right to do it?
Different question, isn't it?
No, it's not a different question. It's just doing what you white people do.
I think it was a yes or a no.
Was he a security or courtesy officer up there working
No.
technique? Was he getting paid?
No. Did he go ask a teacher or somebody to tell this person to move? No. But you want Carmelo to go de-escalate the situation where motherfuckers is literally attacking him after he warned them twice not to fucking bother me and not to fucking touch me.
That's a good question.
You know, if you tell somebody go ahead and hit me,
should a child go?
That's called intimidation to equal combat. That destroys your self-defense. Oh well, it does. If you say come on ahead and hit me, if you tell somebody to hit you, then it's no longer self-defense.
It's mutual combat.
That man to put your hands on you to see what happens. That's a warning.
A warning is a warning.
A warning is if you come any closer, I'm gonna hit you. That's a warning.
Also has
Yeah, but I don't think that stabbing equates to the same thing.
Y'all keep saying what equates to what, but you have two people that is in position and have attacked me, and y'all go sit there and say, "What's my response?" So if he didn't respond that way, we might be having a funeral for Carmelo and not the other guy. So you can't say that he should have settled to a fight because you can die in a fist fight. So if y'all logical and reason, which I understand why it's so fucking dumb, because I understand talking to y'all is like talking to a brick wall. It's pointless. That's why y'all created these unjust laws so that y'all wouldn't have to use logic in the bullshit that y'all do.
Which law are you thinking of right now?
But doctor, really quickly, don't you essentially think that in a way he could have handled it a different way?
No, y'all keep putting the responsibility on the victim. We can't. There's nowhere in history where we have been able to put fucking responsibility on the victim, starting with El Normo's people or any other fucking people.
The victim is dead.
Man, shut the fuck up.
Hey, I'm talking the truth here.
No, the victim is alive. The bully, the motherfucker who started the assault, is dead. If he would have minded his fucking business and kept his hands to himself, he wouldn't have had to fucking win a prize. And that's what y'all should be saying. But because you guys are fucking brick walls and you have no logic, we got to talk to you like this. So which is why I keep telling my people in here, it's pointless to talk to y'all. But for the sake of content or the sake of having this room, we got to fucking listen to you fucking idiots talk.
No,
listen, obviously.
That's what fills up the prison. The kind of stuff, the kind of nonsense you just talked is what makes the prison.
What fills up a prison is people not minding their business
The
and
kid
putting
who
their
died
hands on
fucked
people
up.
when they don't need
Let me be clear.
Well, actually, no. Let me take that back.
The kid who
You're
died
right. That
did
doesn't
fucked
feel
up.
prisons. That feels grave sites. So you should probably tell your kids to keep their fucking hands to themselves and mind their fucking business.
Listen, agree. I'll be safe. The victim, the guy who died.
He is a bully and
He's dead,
a
he's sad.
fucking a villain, and he likes to assault people. And he probably got that from his daddy who assault women.
You go on and try to tell that story. See if anybody buys it.
All right, if you have any
I
facts
don't
to
give a
back
fuck
it
about
up.
y'all buying a story. Nobody gives a fuck about y'all opinions. Y'all are literally
All right, man. You should have been alone.
Yo, man, what's up with this clubhouse? Is it a Jewish tool to spy on black people?
Yeah, we want their grave deeper. You know, I want to learn how to dance.
No, don't make them deflect.
Somebody make me a mod, give me a green button, I'll deal with this clown.
When they're against the ropes, they need somebody to come in and help them. So don't deflect. Don't deflect.
If you make me a mod, I'll deal with this clown.
They did bully him, so he's not actually a victim. That part is true.
What does that
lead? What does that lead? Because now he knows he has the weapon on him because he has his bag in his possession. And not only that, he warned him.
That's when they should have went and told the teacher.
You didn't have to stab him after the war.
Now, any other time they're good at snitching.
You didn't have to stick your hands on him as he warned you fight.
He should have learned from his mom.
Man, he had to stick that knife in his chest. If not, his life was in danger. He was protecting himself by killing that other boy with that knife so he could stay alive. Kill or be killed.
His life was in danger. He was being attacked by two huge bullies. His life was in danger.
They could have murdered him, but he saved his life by murdering them first.
He probably got really beat up. Or something like that.
So he could have died from his injuries, and you would have been okay with that? Oh, because he didn't get the other people. You would have been okay with him dying and suffering from his injuries. You would have been okay with him dying and suffering from injuries, but not the other person. You said it would have been okay for him to get beat up.
I didn't say die though. There's a difference between somebody getting beat up.
People die. People have died from fist injuries.
So should everybody bring a knife to school events?
No,
in case they get
people
bullied?
do whatever they gotta do to defend themselves. That's the law y'all forefathers wrote.
The government decided to avoid that happening, that you can't bring a knife to a school event.
They can't still law.
Right, because they don't
But
agree
the law
with this
doesn't
premise.
the law does not state that you can't protect yourself. So there's a law that says you can protect yourself, and there's an ordinance that says something, but that doesn't invalidate the actual law that says I can carry it. So if he's not being charged with carrying an illegal weapon. So once again, talking to you fucking brick walls is pointless. He's being charged with first degree murder. So your point is fucking irrelevant. Why don't you have? Why I understand that you guys don't have common sense and understand logic. It's fucked up for y'all, but it's sooner or later you're gonna have to just understand it. Like just
more than one thing can be true. Let's be clear. The kid who died, Metcalf, he fucked up. Okay, let's be clear. That kid Metcalf fucked up, and he's dead.
And he found out. No, they give us the
Carmelo,
that y'all usually
poor Carmelo also fucked up.
He plays stupid games, and he
poor Carmelo also fucked up. Both of them fucked up. Okay.
No.
They could have taken different. No.
One of them was minding his business.
Carmelo had other options. Yeah, the other options other than pulling out a knife. And that's what being a citizen is about. It's picking those options.
Hey, his other option could have been to pull a gun and it would have been violent.
Well, and he'd be even more trouble. He'd be in even more trouble. But there's laws about this. There are laws about this. He could have just moved.
Just doesn't make sense. If he couldn't fight those two guys.
Gwen, did you hear him?
What do you mean?
Gwen, listen to what he just said.
They don't want to say excuse me. Like they want you to get off the sidewalk and go on the street.
One mic on Gwen. Gwen.
I'm listening to Randy right now.
One mic on Gwen. He literally this is how all of them feel, Gwen. He said he should have just moved.
Yeah. That's right. That's not a shock.
One mic on Gwen.
Because they don't have the right to tell them to move. They're not police officers. They can't tell them to move. I'm just saying. They don't have that right.
Okay, so stop.
It wasn't. They were wrong to tell him to move.
Stop right there.
He wouldn't be killing anybody if he just moved.
We gonna take this one step at a time.
Hold up, Randy. Hold up, man. Show some
discipline.
We
gonna walk this down for the brick walls. So you guys just together agree. Well, Gwen just said that he shouldn't have, because he didn't have the authority to come move him physically or mentally. Do we agree with that?
Yes.
Okay. So are we, at this moment that we're agreeing, at this moment that we're talking, that moment that just happened, is Carmelo right now the victim or the person making the assault?
He is the let's agree with you. He's the victim. I'm answering you.
Let me say it
No.
slowly.
If you want to write the script, then don't ask me. But if you want my words, you gotta
honestly, Randy.
Now listen.
You guys have to be honest.
I'm trying to answer
have
you.
Conversation. So
you don't want me to say certain things, so that's why you keep cutting me off.
No, I want you to answer this question. If we just agree that one was wrong, then that will make one the other.
But
what?
he did.
It's a gradual process, and that's sort of the way but it takes place in a relatively short time, I think. Yeah.
And do you think that's like Bob, or is that the like invisible hand, as you put it? Like, what is this?
What is what?
Because, like, I guess my question is, like, where does personal responsibility play into personal change?
Me act pushing one of the kids, and they say, "Hey, yo, push me again, my nigga, and you gonna find out." And I do it again, act. What am I fucking with, act, in that situation?
Yeah, there's
because
because if
you know they have a gun.
Listen, if you make it out that situation,
you know they have a gun, and I assume it.
Hold on, murder. If you get out that situation, right, nobody's gonna listen to you.
He actually said that. He said that to a fan. I don't know. He was in America somewhere, and this obvious, lesbian was all starstruck with him, and yeah, he said it to her. Why are you gay? And everybody started laughing. She started laughing. The crowd went wild. What's this?
Hey y'all, wondering if you math geniuses could educate me on the truth of the earth. Is it really flat?
You know what? I'm glad you asked that. I gotta answer your question.
I didn't ask you, I asked the room generally.
Welcome, Doge. Okay.
Welcome back to another episode of Low IQ Dumb People talking about nothing, wasting all their time.
I got you, bro. Hold on.
Mentos freshness, Mentos freshness. The flat earth is always on my mind. Mentos, the flat earth fresh maker.
What was that, a Taoist YouTube book reading in your room? That Taoist Towers?
Yeah, sometimes I read these things called books. Have you heard of them? I've never seen a flat earth, but I've heard of a book.
And then you let someone up on stage and type something in the chat.
Are you giving me a replay of my room from like a couple days ago, a couple weeks ago, a couple years ago? Like, what is your point?
It's from a few days ago.
Oh, cool. When it's a flat gone earth, low IQ thinks a flat earth exists. Can't look in the sky and see a curved sun. Everything is curved, including your bum. Curvature, that's all there is. There's no such thing as a flat earth, girl. You guys are stupid, you're low IQ. There's no such thing as a flat earth, my friends. If you don't know the truth of the earth, it's because you never went to school. There's this thing, it's called math, and it proves that the earth ain't flat. I am complete. Thanks for listening to my song. The earth is round and y'all all just stupid. Thank you very little. I am complete right now.
Bruh, you said you had an opportunity to rhyme song with wrong, but you said stupid instead of wrong. Damn.
Are you projecting right now?
Nah, it would have been a bar.
It was a banger. Don't say it wasn't a banger. Everybody loved my song. It was great.
But it's just like, man. I hate when that happens with rhymes.
That's a you problem.
You had a perfect opposite. It was a slam dunk. Could have said, "But you guys are wrong," or however you. But you said, "But you guys are stupid," and the previous line ended with "song." Like, what is that?
I actually heard.
That's what it is.
I heard somebody actually compliment the flat Earth rooms and said that you guys are like great because you guys. I don't know. They didn't even say you guys believe in what you believe, like what you say. It was kind of like you guys are honest at least, or you're honest in your stupidity, something to that extent.
Yo, who said that?
I don't know. Somebody was saying I hate everything on Clown House except the flat Earth room because they're actually like. I don't know how to describe how they described you, but they gave compliments to the Flat Earth gang.
Hey, man, it's because we be up in here chilling, bro. We talk this real shit, cuz. You know what I'm saying? Thing is, we hold what should be considered the most untenable position in the world. And we sit up here and converse with intellectual after intellectual, with degree holder, with engineers, scientists from every walk of life. We get NASA fucking employees that come up in this bitch, bro.
I only came in here because I thought it said crazy bald heads. And since my bald head is round, I mean, clearly the Earth is also round, just like a great ass. And therefore, all your intellectuals from NASA, it doesn't really make a difference. The Earth is not flat. And, you know, your IQ is flat, but the Earth is not flat.
Let me ask you this, bro. How would it make you feel if the Earth wasn't a spinning ball?
Let me ask you a question. When was the last time you read a book and went to the gym?
Oh man, regularly, dude. I'm an avid learner, bro. I'm an autodidact.
You're an autodidactic?
I am.
What does that mean? That you're automatically dialectical or something? I don't even fucking know what autodidactic really means. Is it kind of like a flat Earth? It's just like a concept that doesn't exist?
No, bro. It means I teach myself new shit all the time. I'm always fucking learning.
Oh, cool. So you're like a normal person who breathes and eats, poops, makes their bed maybe, you know, vacuums their floor, I don't know, washes their car.
Do you think normal people regularly learn new shit?
Yeah, I think it's a lot of people go to the gym and read books.
Is that what you think?
Yeah.
What, here, let me ask you this. What percentage of the world do you think reads books?
It's very small percentage. Let's say there's 10 people in here, I'd say 2 people. So 20% of people read books. 80-20 rule. Maybe you've heard of the 80-20 rule. It's called the Pareto principle, but you don't know math. Have you ever heard of the Pareto principle?
No, never heard of Pareto principle.
Okay. It's called the Pareto principle. Google it. It's called the 80-20 rule.
Explain it to me.
Okay, so 20% of the results, or 20% is responsible for the 80% of the results. The 80% is responsible for the 20%. That's basically what the Pareto principle is.
So you can put workers in versus the, white collar staff.
Yeah, that's what it's saying, is that 20% of your activity is responsible for 80% of the results.
Yeah, so Linnell is an autodidactic polymath.
Right.
Yeah, those two.
That's amazing. I'm a transsexual, bisexual, lesbian, black woman from the year 1946.
Yeah, that has nothing to do. That has everything to do with your appearance.
I am whatever I say I am, doctor.
All right, Eminem.
That's like saying the earth is flat. Just because you say it doesn't mean it's truth. It just means it's hypnosis from low IQ stupid people who are stupid.
Many polymaths that regularly are in this room. That might be the difference. Why someone said they said.
Sure. Have you ever actually seen the curvature of the Earth's surface with your own eyes?
Have you been to the center of the fucking earth and seen the curved ass known as Asi, the goddess? I mean, you've never been to the center of the earth, have you?
I live on the surface. So
Well, I have an amazing theory about the center of the earth, that there is a woman with the greatest curved ass you've never seen. And that's because you've never actually been to the center of the earth. But it doesn't mean that my girl Asi ain't there in the center next to a silver cross praying for my coochie.
Yeah, I
ask anything about theories. Why are you talking about theories? I asked for your observation.
I'm just asking you, have you ever been to the center of the earth? Because you spend so much time talking about the lack of curvature and how it's flat, but I've been theoretically to the center of the earth in my mind's eye, and I've seen this amazing goddess known as Asi. She's curved.
Have you ever used your senses to observe the surface of the earth?
Yes, hold on a second. Let me use my senses. Holy shit, there's a street outside my house. It's straight. And then I can take a right. Oh my God, you're right, it's flat. The street's flat outside my house. That means the earth must also be flat.
Curvature. How do you know it's a globe?
Hold on, let me think about it a little bit further up the street. It goes up. That's like an angle. That's kind of like a curve. Holy shit, the earth is flat.
I know, right? That shit wet to the motherfucker.
You know what isn't flat? A watermelon. That's kind of like an ellipse. Closer to a curve. It is a curve, actually. You know what a watermelon is. Look at your PTR. You see how that shit's curved at the bottom that you're holding there? That's actually what the bottom of the earth looks like. It's curved.
Y'all don't know this troll? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, we know that this is the guy that comes in here and makes fun of us for being schmucks.
I want to see if he can actually substantiate anything that he thinks.
I'm just going to ask you questions till I get kicked. I don't know if you know how my game works. I'm just going to forewarn you.
Hey, get a load of this guy, bud. All right, buddy. You're basic.
Listen, when you kick me, you're going to have to deal with Dr. Sasha, who also thinks you guys are retarded, but he won't insult you the way that I'm willing to do it.
Yeah. No, Sasha actually isn't a flat earther. Sasha was actually relatively honest about the conversation. That's all we need. And you seem to be escaping the honesty of the situation.
No, I came here to roast. This is a barbecue, right? Like, your PTR signifies that this is a self-roast barbecue. Can you please pass me the coleslaw and some watermelon? Thank you, Dr. Lionel.
So you can't substantiate any curvature. You just kind of believe it.
No, I can substantiate it off of simple observation. Today I looked up at the sun. Holy fuck! The sun was fucking spherical in the sky! That implies that most of these solar objects are actually spherical.
Is that right? And so
that's right. The moon, Saturn, Venus, Jupiter. You ever see a picture of another planet? They're always fucking spherical.
Hey, now you gotta get your big mic, because everyone that's off mute interrupts.
I'm okay.
There we go.
So
I know we may not agree on what words mean, and that their descriptions might be different to each person, but I'm pretty sure the Earth isn't flat.
Why? Because you look in the sky and you see something circular. You don't even see a sphere. You just see something circular, and you assume that you're standing.
Yeah, circular is spherical.
You think circular means spherical?
Yeah, circular means spherical.
Is a quarter circular?
Yeah, a quarter is a circular.
Is it spherical?
Yeah, if I take a bunch of quarters and I merge them, it gives me a sphere.
I said a quarter, and a bunch of quarters together do not make a sphere.
The Earth ain't a fucking quarter.
But again, a quarter is circular, but it's not spherical. Correct?
It is fucking spherical, stupid. It's a circle.
So you think a sphere and a circle are...
All right, I'm just going to go on mute for 10 minutes and observe.
I got you. You sounded, right?
Wait, let me go in my kitchen and get a circle. I mean a quarter real quick. Let me confirm that a quarter is actually a circle. Hold on.
I tried to be a smart ass, and I ended up sounding like a dumbass. Shit. Hold on, wait. Let me go on mute.
A circle's not a quarter. A quarter's not a circle. What the fuck world do we live in?
Don't start shaving the edges off. That's funny.
Yeah, that's funny.
You tried to be a
good
smart
one.
That was smart.
Okay, let me ask you a question. What is the difference between a straight line and a circumference?
A circumference?
Yeah, what is the difference between a circumference and a straight line?
A straight line, a circumference is circular.
A circumference is circular, and what is a straight line?
It has no sphericity to it.
Oh, that's what a straight line is?
Yes, it's a line that connects 2 points.
Okay, congratulations, Doctor. You correct answer there at the end. Good save.
And you still haven't answered. A quarter is circular. Is it spherical?
Yes, it is, Dr. Lionel.
No, gotcha.
You got me! Trick question? Oh, do explain, Dr. Lionel.
No trick question. You
Not a
just
trick
realized
question?
That what you said was stupid. Alright?
Mm-hmm.
So now you're trying to figure out, how do I need to save. I need to save. Hold on, wait.
Okay, let me ask you another question. What is the shape of the sun when you look up at it in the sky?
Circular.
The sun is circular?
Mm-hmm. Looks circular.
Wow. Is circular also circumference?
Circumference? Sure. It's not spherical, though.
A circumference isn't spherical?
No.
Okay, so which number represents a circle?
Which number? You mean like pi?
Yeah, I mean, if you were to look at a circle and I were to say x equals circle.
Wait, hold on. Do you understand the difference between circular and spherical?
Yeah, they're the same thing.
What?
Yeah, circular. Okay, let me get you the definitions and then we'll see how close the definitions compare.
Look circular and spherical.
Okay, let me Google first spherical. I'll give you the definition. Here we go. A circle is also known as circumference or spherical by another term. Circle is a 360-degree angle which has a circumference and is spherical.
What did you type?
I just typed in what is the difference between a circumference and a circle.
So they're different, correct?
No, they're both spherical like the planet Earth. And that's, Earth is spelled with E-A-R in the front, which is listen, ear, which really means be shut up and listen. You're not listening.
Here goes some logic for you. This is a Venn diagram. All spheres are circles, but not all circles are spheres.
All circles are not spheres?
Did you understand that?
Yep.
See the difference?
What's the difference between a watermelon head and the Earth?
Again, do you understand the difference between spherical and circular?
The difference between circular and spherical is that a sphere is a 360-degree circle. Have you ever taken a 3D object and held it up in the air and looked at it and said, wow, this is a sphere? But it also resembles a circle, and a circle has a circumference. Wow, the Earth isn't flat. The Earth is like a sphere.
Nah, so now you're getting there. So does a circle have to be three-dimensional?
No, a circle is generally represented on a piece of paper, which is a flat plane.
No, there are plenty of circles. Again, a quarter is a circle.
Right, and it has a circumference. And it's also spherical.
A quarter is not spherical.
It is spherical. It's circular.
You should Google that. Google is.
Let me Google that for you right now. Please hold as I Google that for you.
There you go. Extra magic thinking box.
Let me grab my left testicle and confirm that my left testicle is circular and spherical. And now I'm confirming my right testicle, which is circular and spherical. My balls are like spheres. The Earth is like my balls. And I'm holding two Earths in my left hand, my cell phone in the right hand. Oh my God, I think the Earth is not flat. That my balls are circular, spherical, and the Earth is also... Wait, let me touch my head. My head is curved. It's a little bit like a sphere, like a dome. Oh my God, the Earth ain't flat. Here we go again.
Yeah, so your jokes ain't gonna get you out of this one, dog.
I don't come here, to get out of anything. I come here to get kicked, to roast. Can someone pass me the barbecue chicken?
Oh, you're roasting yourself.
I agree. This is a self-roast. But you're also self-roasting. That's what you're unaware of.
So again, is a quarter spherical?
Is barbecue chicken technically the number one dish at a barbecue, or is it New York strip?
So you're tapping out.
I'm not tapping out. I'm making the point that you're a schmuck. And this is a self-roast. This is a barbecue, not a science class, stupid.
There you go. There you go.
Somebody pass me the lemonade and the vodka. This party's never gonna end. This is the song in the barbecue that just doesn't end.
Good job. Now you're realizing that you don't have the intellectual capacity to be here.
Oh my God. You're kicking me out of the barbecue?
I can hear you, bro. What'd you say?
I said you're kicking me out of your dinner for schmucks, the barbecue, because I don't have the intellectual prowess to hang out with a bunch of self-roasters?
So again, I didn't say I was kicking you anything. I said now you're realizing, it's dawning on you that intellectually you can't compete. And so now...
Okay, let me ask you a question. What is 100... Let me ask you this. If I had 100 chickens and I multiplied it by 1,000 chickens, how many chickens would I have?
So now you can devolve into your...
What is 100 chickens times 1,000 chickens? Quickly, Dr. Lionel. I'm trying to compete by asking you another question. This is the follow-up question. If I had 100 flat earths and I multiplied that by 1,000 flat earths, how many flat earths would I have?
I said something stupid and now I must deflect and fucking... Oh, look at me, I'm crazy.
Projection alert! Projection alert!
Oh yeah, from the guy who said a quarter was spherical. I'm projecting.
Yeah, a quarter is spherical. If I had 100,000 quarters and I multiplied it by 25 quarters, how many spherical objects in the known universe would I have?
The second that must be the...
You're projecting about projecting. You're projecting about projecting. If I had 1,000 watermelons and I multiplied it by 1,000 quarters, how many quartermelons would I have?
I got it. Time out. I got you. Wait, time out. This is the second day in a row that somebody came in here, goddamn, and did this. They just said something stupid, got called out on it, and then just started...
Still doesn't prove that the earth is flat, stupid!
Wait, I got it.
A quarter is not a sphere. A quarter is circular, but not a sphere.
Oh, now you just learned it.
Oh my God, I just looked it up. I was wrong. Oh no, I was wrong the whole time. I'm so sorry about my error. Thanks for the quick correction and being so gracious about it.
You're welcome, brother. See, I told you.
Wow, Professor Lionel for the academic save. Thanks for the intellectual boost to my IQ. Thanks so much for helping educate me today. And I'm sorry if any of my questions that I asked came off as being, redundant or maybe immature. I sincerely apologize.
No problem, brother.
What a fine collection of academically esteemed individuals. Clearly you sat through years and years of math school and sciences schools and things and Google searches and Wikipedia reads to come to these amazing conclusions. Anyways, I am complete. Thank you all very little. We'll call you, don't call me.
Why are you gay?
I ain't gay no more! I love women.
You are gay. You are transgender.
What shows that I'm
You are transgender. Why are you gay?
I love women.
You are gay. You are transgender.
What shows that I'm gay?
You are a transgender, and you're a gay rights activist and an outspoken lesbian, homosexual.
You are gay.
Experience, so I don't see what kind of genus they're trying to form there. And also, I think it's very nebulous to have a platform that doesn't really show a clear sustainability for what they're doing. So, I don't understand their content creation. If this is called content, then that's crazy because the capture of free moral conversations, I mean, the only richness I see there is to, for the trip, basically just to amplify the model building for LLMs, and perhaps even, understand social constructs for exploiting toxic behavior potentially. I see also that connection with the COVID era in Clubhouse exploded as a connection that made it grow quickly and how that could be exploited further or used as a tool in the future. And then, as a user, I'm struggling to find relevant or meaningful conversations.
That's because you got racist, anti-Semitic, dumb motherfuckers who created a title that says, "Are Jews using Clown House to spy on black people?" What kind of stupid, racist, stupid shit is that, Aleph? That's why you're having trouble connecting with intelligent people. It's because of dumb motherfuckers that create stupid rooms with stupid racist titles like this.
Relying on social graphs, who you follow, is a little bit clunky. And transcripting the metadata extraction, and then we're able to search for that without having the actual data to verify it, is also sort of a sieve to me. So that's where I'm at.
Well, also, I would add to that, Ayla, the other thing that exploded also during COVID, I would say, is AI and, the possibilities that they could be using some sort of resources from Clubhouse to also, build those kind of applications as well. But dude, you got a whole pentagram in your PTR. So
you got a whole Ku Klux Klan thing going on with Kanye in your PTR.
Well, that's real. That's real. And what you
he's a schizophrenic neurotic. Did you hear his interview? He's a fucking madman.
That's just demonic.
He looks like a guy who just came off the street that hasn't showered in 7 days and doesn't use a water pick, floss, or even a tongue scraper. I mean, the guy is losing it.
Whole family and sell them on the market for cheap if he wanted to any day of the week.
Yeah, I mean, I film myself doing a lot of things, but I don't put on black Ku Klux Klan robes in some fucking apartment in Compton and do a podcast. I mean, the guy is clearly fucking losing it.
It's a style.
It's a style? It's an aesthetic decision? Oh, wow. What a fucking genius producer. Turns out his music ain't that great either.
Yeah, but he's a billionaire and your ass is broke.
He's a billionaire?
Bro, he used to be, till he messed up.
And you two broke Jews.
Yeah, that's us.
Yeah, no Jews, no news, right? I mean, your title proves it. You guys aren't intellectual or academic. You're just stupid fucking bigots, low IQ racists.
I want to get some small hats.
Oh yeah, it's okay to stab somebody in the heart with a knife because he said, "Get out of my tent." Yes, kill him. He was justified. He was saving his own life from some two bullies, two brothers, evil guys that were trying to kick him out of a tent. Oh!
Oh, they told me to get out of the room. That was like an invitation to stab somebody in the heart.
Yep, right there. We're about to stab El Normo in his fucking chest.
El Normo, that's the...
And for you...
hold him when he bleeds out.
You hear that, El Normo? Be careful.
That dog MAGA, if you touch me, find out what's going to happen to your ass.
Listen, I don't want to touch you, and I wouldn't even ask you to leave the tent that you're not supposed to be in. I would ignore you because I know not to talk to fucking morons.
But what if I try to physically remove you out of Clubhouse right now? If I came over
Go for it! Kick me to the gulag like a communist, you communist fascist! Kick! Kick!
Defend yourself?
No, I'm gonna go to another room!
Are you gonna...
I don't need to stab somebody in the heart because they asked me to leave their big tent.
No, you put your fucking hands on me, I'm gonna stab you in the heart.
Says the man with the devil PTR.
Says the man with the Kanye West black KKK hoodie PTR. I'm just saying, yo. If somebody says, "Excuse me, why are you in this tent?" Is your first reaction to reach for your knife and say, "Fuck around and find out, motherfucker"? And then I actually stabbed somebody in the chest because they were like, "You're in the wrong tent."
Have you ever been attacked by two large football players before?
I've been attacked by a black man in the street before who was robbing me.
Have you ever been attacked by two large football players?
I was attacked by a black boxer in the street who robbed me.
Hang on. Was Carmelo Anthony attacked by two large football players?
Yes, sir.
Okay, where'd you read that?
Oh, I didn't read it.
Oh, so you made it up?
No, I didn't make it up.
Okay, so where'd it come from then? You didn't read it, and you didn't make it up, so...
It came from a report.
And it's the best of all time. So you read the report?
No, I didn't read it. I listened to the report.
Oh, you listened to it, okay.
I'm an eyewitness, sir.
Okay, all right. I'm interested to hear this. What was the name of this eyewitness? I don't know.
I'm not going to tell you.
I don't know.
Anthony,
it's a secret.
Don't worry. You need to look it up, sir.
It's a secret, sure. Why would I need to look up something that doesn't exist?
If you want to find out, you need to look it up.
That'd be a waste of time.
Okay.
Let me Google that for you. Did two huge super white football players try to physically fight this young man before he got stabbed in the chest? No, this did not happen.
Uh-oh. I'll take a plea. In that case, I'm going to take a plea. Never mind. I'm going to plead to second-degree murder. Never mind the trial.
So anyway, did you guys catch Dr. Julio earlier today?
Dr. Julio?
No, what happened? Down by the schoolyard?
No, Dr. Julio and they had a little conversation about the whole stabbing incident, and they made a bet that they made a $500 bet on the outcome of the case.
I bet he cops a plea.
No, he bet that WAC 100 bet that the guy would be
exonerated,
free. Yeah, set free, and Julio suspects the guy will do some time.
He was surrounded by unfriendly witnesses. Like, who's going to testify on his behalf?
We'll see.
He's not going to take the stand himself.
His mama got a new house out of all this.
How do you know they were unfriendly witnesses? Where did we get this information from, El? He was in the wrong tent, remember? That's the whole cause of this, isn't it? No, he was in the right tent. They weren't in the wrong tent.
Every tent is the right tent, El Normo.
And up and down, also left and right.
It was my tent, goddamn.
Oh, damn it. They're all my tents.
But who paid security, though?
Do you think that he was even polite to him in the beginning before he said, hey, like maybe you're in the wrong tent or something? Or do you think it was just like a racist slur that said, get the F out of my tent, N-word? Like, how do you think it all really went down?
I don't know, but there's a lot of witnesses. It's not going to be one of those he said, she says.
Are all these rooms technically just public relations rooms and political rooms for the black community?
No, this is for the small hats to listen to the black folks.
Oh, I forgot about the small hat title. I forgot about that.
I'm learning how to be black right now. Yeah, that's why y'all guys come in here. That's why. Well, anyway, it's time to...
The racism has come to an end. The propaganda has finally exhausted itself. Time to go on to Netflix and more hate speech elsewhere, everybody. Have a great evening.
Goodbye, Dodge.
Bye.
All right. Dr. Unbelievable Truth, Dave, been good. Fatima.
In that area right now. But for the most part, most people aren't going with it no more. It's Doge Module.
Welcome. Hi, Dr. Midas.
Hey, Dr. Doge, how's it going?
What's good news, man? How you fucking hanging? How's the Israel versus Palestine debate room with yourself going?
Well, the people who were supporting Israel, they ran for the hills. So you ready to...
Oh, no! They ran back to Judea, Samaria.
No, to the caves. They went to the caves
The caves of Babylon?
Yes, sir. Right to the caves of Babylon. They're having gay orgies right now, right out there, because they can't.
Wow! Are there any Palestinians there, or is it just the Israeli Jews?
Just fake Jews. That's all it is. A few
Just
Palestinians,
fake
you know,
Jews?
Yeah, I mean, they reject the Messiah, right?
I don't know. Was Jesus the Messiah?
Yes, he was, according to the sages of the Jews. Sucker 52a, because they're suckers. And also, if you check Zechariah 12:10 on Habar.org, it tells you right there. Right there. Messiah ben Yosef.
Was Jesus God?
Amen, sir. He sure was.
If he was God, how did he die? Gods can't die.
What do you want to say, Mike?
Rabbi Kaduri even said that the name of the Messiah would be Yeshua.
That's a pretty party hat, Dr. Michael.
Yeah, this is straight up a quote, actually, from, I forget which book of prophets. But yeah.
Let me Google that for you. Cool PTR, too. Who's the handsome Schwartz in your PTR?
You talking about Isaiah? You talking about Isaiah, Michael?
I'm pretty sure it's the book of Isaiah. Well, it cites the
Michael, you're such a learned scholar. Yeah. Did you go to school for this?
The name of the Messiah would be called Emmanuel, right?
Yes, but it also cites that one of his names will also be Yeshua.
Emmanuel and Yeshua.
Oh, fine. Yes, Emmanuel, I think, is from Isaiah, but I think it's from Zechariah.
So when I die and I go to the International Celestial Heavenly Office, do I ask for Emmanuel or Yeshua?
You're going to hell. You don't have to ask for nothing.
But they say that God is even in hell, that when King David descended to Sheol, he was there too. So God is everywhere. Maybe I can ping God in hell.
He's a troll.
I'm a troll, Michael. I'm just a troll like you. You're such a learned scholar that everyone should spend all their time listening to you instead of my comedy. Because I'm not funny. I'm just a troll. This guy, dude. Oh, Michael, you mean to tell me that this is how you're going to spend your life? This is the summation of a life, just to come on here and have your theological... Oh, he kicked me.
But then he kept fucking...
All right, I got a quarter and I got a ball. I'm ready to compare a sphere versus a quarter.
There you go, Cello.
Oh, speaking of the devil.
Speaking of a quarter, it looks an awful lot like a sphere to me. All right, I just took a quarter and I held it up to the moon and it covered up a moon and it made an eclipse. And therefore, I conclude that a quarter is a sphere and a sphere is a quarter.
How do you know that the moon is a sphere?
Because it looks like a quarter.
Is a quarter a sphere?
A quarter looks like a sphere.
Is a quarter a sphere?
From a first dimensional perspective, a quarter looks like a sphere.
From a first, is a sphere, how many spheres how many dimensions is a sphere?
A sphere is a 360-degree dimensional object in all directions from its center point axis.
How many dimensions is required for a sphere?
3.
3. How many dimensions of circle do you see on a quarter?
3.
Oh yeah, a quarter is circular in 3 dimensions?
Yeah, a quarter is 3-dimensional just like a sphere.
I said, is it circular in 3 dimensions? In all 3 dimensions, is it circular?
Correct.
No, that was a question.
I'm answering you correct.
No, that's a yes or no question.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes.
There you go. And so you're incorrect.
Really? Explain. Do tell, Dr. Lionel.
So in the Z direction, on the Z axis, it is not circular.
What is it?
It's more linear.
Linear versus circular?
Yeah, Yeah, in the Z direction, yeah, it's not circular going. The depth of it isn't circular.
So when I jerk off and I ejaculate, is the tip of my head a sphere, a cone, or a curve?
But now you're thinking about it, you're realizing that you just said something wrong, and so you gotta figure out a way. All right, how do I pivot about it? So no, how do I pivot?
I'm gonna pivot back to the flat Earth. I'm pretty sure that's what you're gonna do.
Nah, you ain't.
But you don't even do that because it ain't true. If flat Earth was so true and it was such an amazing discovery, man, you should be in the streets just screaming it out to everybody, letting everybody know the good news of the flat Earth. Wow, such dynamically amazing news. It's just like a miracle when you figure it all out, really. It changed my life.
All right, and so you don't even know the difference between a sphere and a circle. Right, we gotta start with that.
Is a sphere like a circle?
Is a sphere like a circle?
Is a sphere like a circle?
So there are circles in the spheres. Like spheres are circular, yes, but all circles aren't spherical.
Is flat Earth actually just a comedy routine? Is it a troll or is it a philosophy?
Have you ever seen the Earth not be flat?
Have you ever seen the Earth not be curved?
Yes.
You have?
Yeah.
Where?
Every time I look at it, no matter what elevation, it's never curving.
Really? Even when you look in the sky, you don't see any curves?
You said the Earth. Have I seen the Earth?
Yeah, the sky is part of the Earth because it's a sphere. There's this thing called the atmosphere. Yeah, the sky is part of the Earth. From when you zoom out of the Earth and you're in outer space and you see the curved Earth and you see the atmosphere, that atmosphere is part of the curvature of the Earth. It's called gas. Gas is atomic particles, like the breath coming out of your mouth or your ass. It's called hot air. And so thus, this is why you're stupid, is because even in that emoji of the Earth, in your title of your room, you can see that the Earth is actually spherical. I am complete. Please don't call me. We'll call you.
There we go. I know, right?
Laughing at yourself, projecting your own stupidity and lack of three-dimensional awareness. It's like you can look at a balloon and say, man, that fucking balloon is flat. It ain't a sphere.
You need some milk.
I know I broke them.
You're projecting.
All right. So back to what we're talking about. When we look at the surface of the
She likes to cut off people.
Hey, please. You took an L, just be patient. Go ahead.
What the fuck? Bro, I barely got this because of that.
It's all good, man. You know I still fuck with you.
Hold on, nah, man. This is
go ahead.
That nigga said, man, he was 230 pounds.
Big, the Lord still loves you. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Right.
All right, so just real quick, right? So what I'm asking is, for a person to arm themselves without notifying by brandishing a weapon or by warning people, hey, back up, I have this firearm, tells you why would he not warn them? Why would he not address these people with the actual knife that he was concealing? I'm saying that he's ambushing this guy at this very moment. And my reason for that is by drawing a line of touching being the justification to react with this knife that I'm concealing, and then raising the standard to punching him, which Mr. Austin never did. Austin Metcalf never attempted to punch him, never tried to punch, or never punched him at all. So then, by moving this to something that he perceives as being justified, tells you that he's of sound mind, that he knows the difference of where imminent danger actually begins.
I think you're trying to Ouija board, and this is all subjective. It's completely unknowable.
No, this is a chain of events. Everything I said is a matter of fact.
No, you said, well, you also made claims. Did you not just make claims?
What was the claim?
No, I'm asking you. Did you not just make claims? Don't try to turn it back on me. I'm asking you. You just made claims. What claims did you just make? You just made claims.
If you weren't listening, just say you weren't listening. So I asked King and I asked Nathan a question. I said, if you were to put it in this state of mind, a person that was trying to ambush somebody, these are the chain of events that we have here that we could all reference. So he's concealing the knife from these people, right? Exhibit A. He changes the standard of justification in reacting, right, twice, which convinces anybody who can analyze this that he's of sound mind to do so by drawing a distinction between what's permittable and what's not permittable. And that's a question. So what were you responding to, Bimo?
Yeah, but Simone, what is it?
There's several claims that he knows of why, like, tried to assume his intent of why he would not want to. Well, no, but you made the claim in the question when you said, when you assumed that he had some sort of sinister intent by not showing that he has a weapon. Most people that carry guns.
If you guys were to use the narrative that he was trying to ambush somebody, would the chain of events contribute to proving this narrative true?
I don't think so. Okay,
cool. Why not?
Because the disclosure of the knife, right? I could say that the hand being in the bag is some disclosure of a weapon, right?
Oh no.
That's first of all.
A potential.
Yeah, but it's still there,
No,
right?
No.
No, if someone has, just like Nathan said, if someone has a hand in the bag, right? I'm letting you know that it's something more than fists that I'm.
That's not necessarily true.
Potential.
That could be a. That could be.
Hold on. Wait. What are we saying here? Y'all saying stop. Too many niggas. Let me ask y'all something. Y'all saying in a hostile situation. All right, nigga. Hostile situation. Somebody goes in a backpack of they fucking hand.
Bro, why don't you digest the conversation?
No, let him finish. And that's what I'm trying to help out your point.
Let him finish. Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Go ahead.
Yeah, no. You got it, pussy nigga. Nigga, I was trying to help your point out. You stupid fuck.
He said some more. Go ahead, put your foot back on. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Captain. Hit the gas. Go ahead. Damn, where you go?
Yeah, you all by yourself, AK. What you gonna do now?
I don't need no fucking help, nigga.
I'm about to go on my backpack. What? Hold on.
But yeah, so my second point, first of all, the whole weapon thing, you're saying it can't be an ambush. You can't use that as a supporting shit for your ambush because I'm letting you know that I may have something in my fucking bag.
No.
Right?
Wait, hold on.
But I don't want you to address this point right now. I want to say the second point, and then you address both of them.
Absolutely, go ahead.
All right. So your second point, can you remind me again how you said it?
Changing the threshold of when it's justified to respond from touching to punching. First it was touch me, you'll see what happens, and then it changed to punch me, and then you'll see what happens.
I could respond to that in the heat of, I would call it the heat of battle, quote unquote, right? I gave you a directive, told you not to do something, then I gave you a warning, right? As soon as you twitched to put your hand towards me, to grab me, whatever it is, I'm not disclosing whether it's a punch, a hook, a jab, you get what I'm saying? No. That triggered my response that I warned you about. So the fact we know now, we know now in the aftermath that no punch was thrown.
No, he specifically said touch and punch. These words.
Right, I understand, but you're saying the fact that I understand.
It's okay.
I'm not arguing. Right? I think he was a sound one.
What the fuck?
But the fact that you also said that he did not even punch him.
It's
right?
Okay, we're moving.
Oh, you talking about right? When you would say right, so you're saying that
I was happy
so
working with Chakra. Very good communication throughout the entire process. When the work began, they moved quickly and the results were great. Pricing was also very fair.
As soon as you twitch, I don't know if I'm to whatever I gave you a directive. You're going beyond that to potentially be an attack. I don't care if it's
Hot coffee. We know how important.
Okay. So I'm only reviewing your first bag. But me, I'm telling you, hand this bag. That's not a secret.
That's not a secret. Exactly.
Wait, hold on. What's in the bag?
No, that's specific. That's
Something that can hurt you. Something that can hurt you.
He just said he could be lying.
A weapon.
yes, but red rum is no longer. Red rum is no longer an ambush. Listen, it's no longer an ambush because I'm telling you, and that's the possibility I have something to say. It's no longer an ambush.
Exactly.
I gave you, but look, I gave you the information.
If you're a parent in the Chicagoland area and your backyard isn't giving your kids a real place to play, chances are they're stuck inside glued to their screens.
Why are you telling me about this?
Hold on, AJ. If he would have pulled the knife out of the bag.
Nah, man, I didn't know you. Go ahead. I was looking at my phone. You can't take it.
Imagine if you was walking with a group of people and one person starts
I was in battle mode, Kendall. I was swinging on everybody, bro.
Bro, listen, in a hostile situation.
This is the chops from today's spot.
And then this thing here somewhere else. I don't give a fuck.
You can't act like you was tricked. Oh, I didn't know. Oh. Nah, you was born.
Literally, he gave him a warning. Yo.
So ain't no ambush, bro.
Nigga, watch what happens, my nigga. Oh,
See, King gave me a warning, so when I smack him up, he gonna shoot me.
So it's called a risk assessment, right? And you know, it's like just in national security.
31 years as a pencil specialist, and I know exactly how to fix your pencil.
Break it down.
Dip your
and
imagine
today marks the 2-year anniversary. The S, the K, right? And so basically, it's like, all right, you finna report or you finna like view and see, like, all right, is this nigga a threat? And then you finna look at his intent. You gotta assess his intent. You know, if it's a hostile situation and he dip his hand in the bag or whatever the fuck, it's just automatic. You should just expect that this is something behind there.
Right, but you guys are Kendall, you guys are responding on how you would respond, right?
But hold on.
It didn't seem like it was a response to something that was provocative. Like, for example, if somebody was like, hey, bitch ass nigga, move. And then you were to put your hand in the bag, right? Because what you're doing is you're processing this provocative statement that was made towards you. So what was said to this kid was, hey, bro, like, you're in the wrong spot. You got to go to your own tent. So then when somebody puts their hand in the bag and then responds to you by saying, touch me and you'll see what happens, you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, but that's a warning, though.
But that's a warning, yeah. So
how can they be a...
Because, like, look, if you've already been affected in a negative way to any degree, right? And then your next movement is to put your hand in a bag, right? And then you basically talk back, right? As like a counter, right? That just means it's like you have been, where there's no ambush in the sense of like,
oh no, I'll show you where the ambush is.
The ambush could come from the uncertainty of what it is. But like, look, to me, like, and I could only, you're asking the question to the room, not specifically to me, but I'm thinking, I already knew what I would do. Someone puts your hand in their fucking pocket, I'm not coming next to them, bro. Like,
wait, right, but you're missing the second part though, right?
The ambush is in the assessment of the
So what adds to the fact that there's nothing in the bag is the person that says, touch me and you'll see what happens. So I touch you, you don't do that.
No, but here's the thing. Hold on. Like, let's just, if we role play, right, if we only like put ourselves in the position. The question is, do I want to see what happens? I don't want to see what could happen. I don't, right? So the guy, obviously, is curious enough to see what happened. Oh, right? I don't know the names. Right? So if the claim made is touch me in the rules, yeah, the white guy, fine. If the claim is touch me and you'll see what happens, right? That means, hey, we'll find out. The Papa Jack Box? Yep.
So then you touch him and nothing happens. Does that add to the claim the bad thing, or does it not?
His hand's still in the bag?
Yep.
Yeah, that's still adds to the claim.
I thought, wait, hold on. This is the way I thought it was played out, right? No hand in the bag, somebody says, push me or something. No, I don't know.
The hand was in the bag the whole time.
No, it's doing the wrong thing with your own hand. Into the bag, the statement is, see what happens.
Yeah.
Okay. So then the person touches them.
Yeah.
Nothing happens.
Correct. Pause right there. So now we know that nothing happened. The pusher realized that, I can get away with something, at least a push, with no retaliation. Now phase 2 is, go ahead.
Phase 2, raising the standard to something that's more touch me, and now you'll find out.
And then so was the guy curious enough to find out?
Nope.
Yes.
Why did he touch him?
Yes.
Wait, hold up. Why did he touch him?
Then you want.
No, that's not what you question.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. Let me say, I don't know this.
Same thing as the first.
It was the ruffling up.
It was. No. Fuck no. No.
Hold on. All I'm saying is this.
So he just tried to move him out of the chair.
Okay, fine. At one point in time, the white guy put his hands on him, right?
Yep.
He could get away with it a second time.
No.
Then why did he do it?
Oh my God! Of course.
Wait, Samoa. Do you think that if he felt like hold on. Do you think like
this is wasting our time right now?
Well, I'm actually enjoying this. Do you think that if the guy thought he was gonna get killed, he would have done what he did?
No. I'm saying that once you say.
Were you answering when you said no, or are you just not answering?
Yeah, no.
No.
Yeah, no.
Okay. Exactly. Yeah. So, which means that like.
No. Come on, bro. So once the new line was punch me, anything that's not a punch, you shouldn't be able to kill me. So I'm not gonna think you're gonna kill me for trying to move.
That's Samoa.
That's so stupid, bro.
Yeah, we're cooked.
Hold on, bro.
Samoa's a white person.
Shut the fuck up, bro.
Yo, whoever said that stupid, that shit got me.
90 pounds heavier than Carmelo.
Was that Monica? Yeah, you guys have to be able to.
Where is Carmelo's height and weight?
Monica, just go to the chat.
You guys have to relax.
That's
The white people just letting this happen?
Hold on. So
wait a second. Ask a question, Samoa. Look.
Hey, real quick. The reason why the size doesn't matter, pause.
I don't think the size matters either.
And the reason why it doesn't is because the person who has the upper hand here is Carmelo.
Yo, Mike, chill. What the fuck?
Big pause, Mike.
Look. Here's.
I don't think size matters. What?
Yeah, so
well, go ahead.
I just want to follow up with something because, like, look.
But let me just clear this up because a lot of people came off the mic, right?
Pause.
So the reason why. Hold on, Don. So the reason why. Come on, the reason why the size of the kids don't matter at this point is because Carmelo has already equalized the disparity or the difference by arming himself.
Fair enough.
And only he knows this.
Okay, fine.
Only he knows that.
I know,
right.
Look, that could be advantageous. I see. You're saying that's advantageous to the guy because only he knows what he has, and so on, right?
Yeah, this is the reason why Carmelo is not intimidated.
Okay, that's fine. So that means,
like,
the idea of being afraid it's going to be a little bit more difficult. Well, okay, so you're saying, look, the second time around, he didn't get punched. He just got pushed again, right?
Yeah, but my point is that he actually.
What if he did get punched? Then
then he's justified in striking at that very moment because he drew a line.
No.
This is my line of imminent danger. Hold on real quick.
But I told you that even in the heat of battle,
let him finish. So the reason why I'm saying that he's a sound mind is because him himself has already acknowledged the difference between a touch and a punch. And that a punch is way more significant. And if there is a punch, it will justify me in striking with lethality, right? So by him saying punch, he's basically putting his own nail in his coffin. Because, okay, cool. Now we know what's going to justify me striking you with this knife. Anything less than that, if a person is acting off of that threat, you shouldn't be able to hit me with anything.
I'm telling you, as soon as he moved after the warning about a punch, the boy Carmelo may have thought he was going for a punch. How do you know that?
Oh my god, this is dumb.
That's actually not a dumb point at all. It's not dumb, bro.
He warned him. He warned him the first time. He already stepped over that.
He warned him about a punch, and then that man's hand started coming towards
the
him.
escalation in what's the provocation. You guys aren't factoring that in. It went from a touch to a punch, which gives you a significant...
No, but he's not talking about that. He's saying, look, because the guy doesn't have to get punched first, then stabbed. He just has to see it twitch that could potentially be a punch, right, to initiate a response. We already know that the guy that got stabbed feels comfortable putting his hands on somebody. Okay, we know that because he already did it. Then the guy says, punch me, and sees what happens. You see a little like twitch in the pec, like you know how like boxers, they see like the twitch in the pec, and that's how they know like to fire first. You see a little twitch. You don't have to wait.
Right, and he don't have to wait because he already the first time he told hold on, let me just get here some more. No, hold on. No, I'm telling you, the first time said touch me, guess what? So the second time he said punch me, what do you think that Carmelo thinks that boy is gonna do next? He fulfilled the first request. I told you to punch me, now you're
your backyard, I mow your lawn, I cut your trees. Oh, please, sword. They're not like, hey, motherfucker, please, you owe us shit. You give us money. Please, man. Motherfucker, you owe me. They don't do that. They're begging for work. And with that being said, I would say that's the difference between Latinos and blacks. You guys blame white people for everything. Because Latinos, they're not looking for a handout. They're begging to work. They're just like, motherfucker, I will work. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to grind. You motherfuckers is for a handout.
Pepe, I agree with you 100%, Pepe. I agree with you 100%. Yo,
it was in this video, and I cut your ass. I cut your cheek.
Full knowledge, absolute. Hey, nah, but hey, bro, hey, Taylor, what he's saying is not true. He's being sarcastic.
Act like a good Latino, motherfucker.
You know,
have impulse control and have a good work ethic.
I'm not from New York.
I'm not from New York either. I'm from Arizona, motherfucker.
I'm from Chicago. I live in Texas. We don't cooperate with white people when I'm from there. I'm not from New York.
Okay, yeah, but the Mexicans, you know what's funny is the Mexicans do cooperate. They work amazing.
Well, we killed more Americans with fentanyl than any war combined. Is that right? Am I right? More Americans died from COVID-19 than any country combined. Am I right?
No.
Am I right?
You're not right about that one.
The Latino